Greetings, friends. It's Liam Maynard here with CashIsTheAnswer.com, and this is 4 powerfully profitable blog niches and how to monetize them. Let's get started. So, blogging as a business, is this really profitable? Well, the short answer is yes. For example, I have a friend who, in about 6 months, he went from making nothing to about 20,000 USD a week. Now, I should point out he's an expert at ranking content on Google, and he knew how to monetize the blog, which it means make money from it. But other than that, you should tell you that it is infinitely doable, and there's lots of people who are making a good income from blogging. Now, there's a number of things you do need to know about it, and we're going to take care of them right now. So first of all, it's picking a niche. Now, the 3 big overarching niches that tend to make money are anything to do with making money, anything to do with health, and anything to do with relationships. And there's lots of sub niches within those, but if you're in anything to do with any of those, you're probably good, right, as far as the niche goes. But you want to pick something that you love, something that you enjoy, because if you're doing this seriously as a business, you're going to be in it for a while. And if you're going to be in it for a while, then you need to be doing something that you actually enjoy. There's no point in doing anything else. So make sure you get this part right, otherwise you're going to quit, and who would blame you? So once you've decided on a niche, then what platform do you want to use, and does it matter? The short answer is not really, because I've done both successfully, but I tend to prefer WordPress at this point because of the fact that we have our own platform site builder within WordPress, as well as there's some apps like, for example, Link Whisper, which helps you with your internal linking inside of your site, which helps with ranking. And so I like to use some of those tools, and so that's why I tend to use WordPress. But you don't have to do that. You can do either. WordPress is not very expensive. There are some security issues with WordPress, but once you've kind of got those handled, then it's really just a personal preference as to which one you use, right? Now, something that you do need to know right off the bat, again in step 3 here with creating unique content. So obviously, as the title would imply, you need to have unique content on Google, otherwise you will get smacked down pretty hard by them if you're just rehashing old stuff. It's not going to go anywhere, and you could get penalized. So don't do that. You want to have unique content, but also you want to have, in addition to just unique content, you want to have expert content, because that's what ranks, right? So how do you get expert content? Well, expert content would mean if you have a blog on dogs, you need to sound like somebody who's an expert with dogs, right? Or dog training. Now, how you find those words, or one way of finding those words, is just to go to Wikipedia, because Wikipedia gives them to you. And they're usually highlighted in blue as some of the expert words that you might use. So you just need to make sure that you're using phraseology that someone who is an expert in that topic would use in your headlines and your subheadlines and your content, etc. So something you need to know, make sure you're using expert content, and then also make sure that it's media rich, which means make sure you've got images, make sure you've got videos, because that will essentially just make the post more sticky, more enjoyable for people to go through, which means they will actually spend more time on your site. And the more time they spend on your site, the better you'll do in Google, because your bounce rate off of your website will be lower. And so that's what Google is looking for. So having rich media and having unique content and expert content just helps you rank from all those perspectives. So make sure that you are doing that with every post that you create. Now, in terms of how you actually make money blogging, because there's lots of people who will just start a blog, will get something on Blogger or whatever, WordPress, and they'll just slap up a blog post and wonder why they're not making money. But you need to monetize the blog. You need to have a way of actually getting paid. And one of the core ways that people tend to do this is through ads. So AdSense or Mediavine. Mediavine's better, but that's one way of doing it. I personally don't generally follow this ad plan. And I'll tell you why. It's because I would rather have somebody join our list and develop a relationship with the customer that way, because then we can send them free content and we can also send them our paid products and affiliate products. So if I'm just using ads, then somebody comes to the site, or somebody comes to your site, and you're basically sending them away, having given you pennies when they could have given you hundreds of dollars. So one is clearly better than the other. So that is why I tend to prefer monetizing it with a list instead of the ads. You can also do things like, if you're a coach of some sort, you can have a link to an application or sales page or whatever. You can have your services on there. If anything you might also happen to provide, so that's another way of monetizing it. So you can do things like that, which are usually higher ticket payouts for you than just a few cents to Google. So that would be our advice with that. In terms of the actual getting traffic to this thing, because you can have a blog and if nobody comes to it, then you're not going to get paid anyway. When we run a digital marketing agency, so I can tell you that there's 3 basic things you need to know. And that is the first leg of, if you look at this as a pie, the first third of the pie would be the traffic that's coming to your blog. Now that will build up over time organically anyway. If you want to speed things up, you can use a service like SitePop. And I can leave a link somewhere here below to that, but that's one way of safely getting some traffic to your blog to just boost things up a bit while you're waiting for the organic rankings to get higher as time goes on, right? So that's the first element of it, is people are actually engaging with your blog. The second third of the pie would be the expert content we were talking about, because you can't have crap on your blog and think that people are going to stick around and that's going to rank, because it's not. So to rank it, you want to have specifically long tail, meaning multiple words, key phrases that you are ranking. And one easy way to do this is with a service called KW Finder. Now KW Finder, which we'll leave you another link here for that, but KW Finder is a service that gives you basically color coding for idiots in terms of what will rank. So if you type in a long tail key phrase, then how to train my dog in France or whatever, then it will tell you whether that's easy to rank for or not by whether it's green or some other color. If it's green, it's easy to rank. So you want to go for things that are easy to rank, because it doesn't matter these days whether there's thousands of searches, because it's going to be difficult to rank for some of those higher volume keywords. So it's perfectly acceptable to be going after the long tail ones, because if you've got something that gives you 10 visitors a day, but you're doing them consistently, then what will happen is you'll start to rank for more than one thing, and your traffic will expand exponentially. So go for the things that are easy to rank for most of the time. You can have some premium pillar posts about more general topics, but generally you want to have predominantly ones that are easier to rank for in Google. And the third slice of the pie are links. So you want to have links. Some easy ways of doing that are to do press releases. You could do one every month or every couple of months if you want, but you can start doing press releases. I would recommend Press Cable or PR Web, I believe it's called. So you can use press releases to get the ball rolling. You can also use blog posts. If you're looking for blog posts, one service that we have used in the past is the Hoth, which will give you some pretty killer blog post links to your different posts from that. So check those out. I will leave you a link there too. But the third way would be forums, in terms of just the links element of it. So forums, you can install an extension, I believe it's on Chrome, the Mozbar, and the Mozbar will tell you basically how good the forum is when you install that and run it. So if you see a forum that says it has a domain authority of 2, then usually just by the phrase DA, which stands for domain authority, if it says it's a domain authority of 2, then that means that in comparison to a domain authority of 40, 40 is better than 2. You'd rather go and get a link from the people that have got a domain authority of 40. So basically all you do is you go to these forums, you join them, you are somewhat active in them, and then you make a post, and some of them will allow you to leave links to some of your blog posts or your blog in general. So you want to do that. Those are some easy ways of getting links: forums, press releases, and other guest posts. So you can go to the Hawk for the guest posts and the other resources we talked about. So those are basically how you get traffic to your blog. Now, in terms of the niches, it says 4 piping hot blog niches. Well, what all of these have in common is that there's thousands of people looking for them and not a lot of information on one place. So there's definitely room in all of these, and in fact competition is a good thing in general, because there's 8 billion people on the planet. So if there's competition, it means people are buying something. So competition is not a problem, but there's a big opportunity in all 4 of these things, and lots of people are looking for online jobs or to make money online, but predominantly they don't know how to go about it. So if you have a blog about either of those things, then you're telling people about different opportunities, about different strategies for growing their business online. That's pretty much what Cash is the Answer, our blog, is about. And if you could just gather that information in one place, then you'll start to see some traffic and results from that for sure. Same thing with online dating. Dating in general is a big niche, but online dating is just a sub-niche of that, which is online dating is huge, but people want to know what are the best sites, how do you optimize your profile, how do you get results on any of this. So if you've got a blog that's to do with anything along those lines, you're going to get thousands of hits there too. And lastly, the local blogs. This is actually an easy way to rank on Google because it's lower competition if you're trying to rank for something in a local city or area as opposed to a large volume type of keyword. And people are looking for these things though, and not a lot of people are doing it. So there's a big opportunity here too. You can blog about different businesses, different tourist attractions, different elements of the city, your experiences with doing different things in the city, whatever. Anything along those lines, people are looking for this information anyway, so you might as well just give it to them in one place. So if you found this helpful, then make sure you smash the like button, comment, and subscribe. Hit the bell notification if you're on YouTube. Below this video, we'll leave you a link to the various things that I mentioned, as well as a link to join the Cash is the Answer newsletter. If you sign up for that, there is a free Facebook ads mini course, speaking of making money online, as well as a masterclass on sales funnels, which would be online marketing to sell anything you want to sell online. So if you're interested in any of those things, go check that out. The courses that I mentioned are free. So hope you find this helpful. Speak to you soon.